Okay, so in these series of videos going forward, we will be going over the different tenses. All right, the different tenses that we've learned up to level 3. All right, and with this one, we're going to start with this video. We're going to start with the simple present tense. All right, so this will be the simple present tense review. And I'm going to follow this pattern where we talk about the tense that we're going to learn about, and then we're going to do a quick review to remind ourselves what that tense is. All right. So the simple present tense is a form of the verb that shows the action or state happens in the present, right? Things that are going on right now, right? An example of this is Lisa dances every day. Okay? So let's think about the forms that we use. All right? So Lisa dances every day. You could also say she dances every day, right? How we change this verb here depends on who or what we're talking about, right? The subject. All right? So if it's I dance every day. You dance every day. He, she, it dances every day. They dance every day. We dance every day. Okay? So hopefully that's a good reminder of how we use the simple present tense. Let's look at a story. This is our simple present tense story. Okay? I'm going to read it, but feel free to stop the video and read it for yourself. Okay? And then get a good understanding about what is being said and how we're saying it. Okay? How we're reading this, how it was written. All right? Everything here is going to be in the simple present tense. Okay? Question is, who is he? Where is he? What does he do? Hank is a cowboy. He lives on a farm. He has a horse named Ginger. Hank loves Ginger. He rides Ginger every day. Sometimes they walk slowly, and sometimes they run fast. They always have a good time. Ginger is Hank's horse. She is light brown. Her tail and mane are dark brown. She is 3 years old. She lives in the stable by the house. Ginger waits for Hank every morning. She enjoys their time together. Often, Hank gives her apples. After long rides, Hank always washes and brushes Ginger. He usually brushes her tail. Then, he gives her food and fresh water. Ginger loves Hank. Okay? So, feel free to pause the video and read this for yourself. And in your mind, ask yourself, who is he? Where is he? What does he do? All right? Let's move on. Let's talk about the exercises. Answer the following question. Use the simple present tense. Where does Hank live? What does he do every day? Second question is, who is Ginger? Where does Ginger live? Third question is, what does Hank often give Ginger? What does Hank do after long rides? So now, let's pause the video to give you a chance to answer questions 1 through 3. And remember, write your answers in simple present tense. Okay, you can refer back to the story to answer these questions. And then when we come back, I'll share my answers with you, and hopefully we got something the same, similar. All right, so let's pause the video now, continue, complete 1 through 3. Okay, so now let's go over this together. And remember, the important part here is to write your answers in simple present tense. All right. Question is, where does Hank live? What does he do every day? I wrote down, Hank lives on a farm. Second question is, what does he do every day? I wrote down, Hank rides Ginger every day. All right. Number 2, who is Ginger? Where does Ginger live? I wrote down, Ginger is Hank's horse. And to answer the second part, I wrote down, Ginger lives in the stables Ginger lives in the stables by Hank's house. Number 3, what does Hank often give Ginger? What does Hank do after long rides? I wrote down, Hank often gives Ginger apples. And to answer the second part of that, I wrote down, he then gives her, Hank often washes and brushes Ginger after long rides. To answer the second part of that, he then gives her food and fresh water. All right, so these are the answers that I gave. And hopefully you gave something similar. There again, we used the story to write to complete our questions, right? And we use simple present tense. That was A. Let's go on to B. B. Rewrite the following sentences as negative sentences, yes or no questions, WH questions, and for our WH questions, those are usually like who or what, okay? Who or what questions, and they use the underlying words or phrases and tag questions. So we're not going to do tag questions on any of these, but we will do negative statements, yes or no questions, and WH questions. All right, so let's look at our examples. Examples of what they're looking for is, here's the sentence. Here's the example sentence. Jack sweeps the floor. Okay, that is simple present tense. And now we want to use the underlined word to rewrite the sentence. Okay, the negative sentence would be, Jack does not sweep the floor. Okay, yes or no question would be a question that you would answer either yes or no. So we'd have to write the question, does Jack sweep the floor? Yes or no. In this case, it would be yes. And then the WH question, who sweeps the floor? Okay, so our WH question is who. All right. So now that we know the way we need to do this, let's look at some examples. Number 1 is, Hank loves Ginger. Okay, underline Ginger. Number 2 is, she is 3 years old. That's number 2. Number 3 is, she enjoys their time together. So now what we need to do is take each one of these and answer and to write a negative statement or a negative sentence, yes or no question, and a WH question for each of these three. So let's take some time. Let's do that. Pause the video and let's do that, and then we'll come back and we'll go through this together and I'll share my answers. Okay, so hopefully you had some time to go through these. So let's go through these together. All right. So number one is Hank loves ginger. So remember, when we have the underlined word, right, we want to rewrite the following sentences as negative sentences, yes or no questions, WH questions, which would be something like who or what, and using the underlined word or phrase. Okay, so the underlined word or phrase is going to be the subject. Okay, so here we have excuse me, we have Hank loves ginger. So now we have to rewrite the sentence making ginger the subject. All right, so negative sentence, I wrote Ginger doesn't or does not love Hank, okay, because it has to be a negative. My yes or no question would be, does Ginger love Hank? And my WH, what or who question would be, who loves Hank? Okay, and they're all written in the simple present tense. Ginger does not or doesn't love Hank. Does Ginger love Hank? Who loves Hank? Okay. Number two, she is 3 years old. The subject is she. So now my negative sentence would be, she isn't 3 years old or is not 3 years old. Yes or no question would be, is she 3 years old? And my WH question is, who is 3 years old? Number three, she enjoys their time together. Their time together. Okay? Alright, so my negative statement or sentence would be, she doesn't or does not enjoy their time together. My yes or no question would be, does she enjoy their time together? And then my WH question would be, who enjoys their time together? Okay? And so these are my answers. So remember, I've written all of these in the simple present tense. Ginger does not love Hank, or Ginger doesn't love Hank. Yes or no question, does Ginger love Hank? WH question is, who loves Hank? Number two, negative statement or sentence is, she isn't 3 years old. Yes or no question is she 3 years old? And then WH question is, who is 3 years old? Number three is, my negative sentence is, she doesn't enjoy their time together. My yes or no question is, does she enjoy their time together? And then the WH question is, who enjoys their time together? Okay? All of these written in simple present tense. All right? So hopefully you got the same answers or something similar, but the main thing was to write a negative sentence in simple present, a yes or no question in simple present, and a WH question in simple present to help us to work on using the simple present tense, all right, in different situations. All right, so hopefully you got those correct. If not, you can always email me and we can go over them together. I can give you some more exercises to do, and hopefully that'll help. All right, let's move on to our next lesson. Okay, so in this lesson we're going to review the simple past tense. All right, so let's look at a review of the simple past tense so that we can refresh our memory on this. Okay, the simple past tense is a form of the verb that shows the action or state happened in the past. Okay, so remember, this is something that happened in the past. For example, Lisa danced yesterday. Okay, simple past is pretty good. It is pretty simple because you can say he, she, or it danced, right, yesterday. I can say I danced yesterday. You danced yesterday. We danced yesterday. And they danced yesterday. All right, so it's pretty simple. All right, so hopefully that helps to remind us of what the simple past is and how to use it, the different forms. Let's look at a story and let's actually see how we use it. All right, the question is, who were they? Where did they go? What happened? All right, so again here I would say to pause the video and read this for yourself and really see how they've used the past tense in this story. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this now, and then we'll move on to exercises to talk about what's going on here. All right, so let's start. One autumn evening, Charles and Beth went to the theater. They attended a play. The play started at 7 o'clock. Charles and Beth enjoyed the theater. After the play, Charles and Beth walked together in the park. They walked beside the lake. The moon was bright. They talked about their future. When Charles and Beth went home, their children were not asleep. They waited for Charles and Beth to return. They were excited to hear about the theater. Charles told the children about the play. Then Beth put the children to bed. Charles and Beth were very tired. It was a good night. All right, so that is our story about Charles and Beth. Just one thing I want to point out here is autumn, right? So autumn is a season, a yearly season, and that is usually associated with the fall. All right, so that is after summer, right? So we have winter, spring, summer, and then fall. Fall, another word for fall is autumn. Autumn, okay? All right, so that's our story. Let's take some time to read it, and then let's move on to our exercises. All right, so in our next video, we will work on our exercises about what we've learned and what we've seen in this story.